Welcome. This is a really impromptu podcast episode, recording, all that stuff. It's a Sunday mid-afternoon. I am in the studio and I am going to be making a laksa. I found this laksa paste in an Asian grocer. I think this brand, it says Porkwan, P-O-R-K-W-A-N. Anyway, it's made in Thailand and I've heard really good stuff from people that I love in the foodie world say about it. So I thought I would try it. I've never tried that brand. So I'm basically, I don't know, just cooking with you randomly. Hopefully you enjoy listening. Sometimes I feel like talking to myself when I cook. I'm not the only one. Don't care what anyone says. So I've got a coffee. I'm going to prep all my ingredients. While I chat with you guys, I thought I would do these impromptu videos and audios, like for those that want to listen, and share what I'm making, how I'm making it, recipes of the week, any tips or tricks and stuff. So it is winter here in Sydney. It is effing freezing, so cold. And I figured it's soup season. Now, if any of you are listening and probably either follow me or do not follow me on social media, but I shared a Chinese chicken and corn soup recipe. It is a not quite Nigella recipe. And let me tell you, it is so good. It literally took me back to my childhood, and I love Chinese chicken and corn soup. And I've tried some in the past. Like, to be honest with you, I haven't really attempted to do it myself because I figured, hey, listen, it was Lorraine's mum who I'm assuming is Chinese background. It's her recipe. And why would I want to even sabotage that? I'm not even going to bother. So it's on the blog. I can link it up in the show notes below, but if I don't, if you go there and it's not there, then definitely just head over to my blog. You can just do a simple search of Chinese chicken and corn and it'll come up. You guys are going to spin out by how accurate it tastes. I bought these beautiful chives from the Asian grocer. Their chives are totally, it's different to the chives that you get inside the supermarket. Different flavor. I love them. I usually use them in my dumplings. So I'm definitely going to be doing another cooking class, and I was thinking about doing a dumpling cooking class as well as I think a meatball one. Now, I know a lot of you like meatballs. Like, come on, I don't need a cooking class. I created a recipe for my next book, which is called, it's going to be one bowl dinners. I might even just call it that, to be honest. And I made ricotta, like, oh my God, ricotta meatballs. They were sensational. So moist, I'm going to use the word moist, moist and juicy and just delicious. I usually use bread, like a slice of stale bread. It has to be, don't use fresh bread. It has to be, stale bread for sure. I'm going to call that. And with just about a quarter of a cup of milk. So usually I soak that first while I prepare all the other ingredients. So delicious. And I figured I'm really loving the cooking classes, doing things that we can have now and have later. So the first one was on ricotta gnocchi, and I think the beauty about that was a lot of people, obviously had it for dinner, and then other people made some. I'm trying not to chop too loud because it's probably really annoying. And then a lot of people bought the 1 kilo ricotta, that's in a tub or a net, whatever you want to call it, and made a big batch and froze half of it. So then you had some for dinner that evening, and you also had a freezer stash, because you guys know me. You know how much I love a freezer stash. I just think with these kind of cooking, like, things that we make, if I'm going to the trouble and I've got the bowl and I'm chopping and I'm doing all this kind of stuff, if it freezes well, which meatballs definitely do, which ricotta gnocchi definitely does, which dumplings definitely do, I'm going to be making a big batch, double batching, double or triple, depending on, I would triple if my kids would eat more of my stuff, which It's funny. I get so many people like, oh my God, I cooked your such and such. My kids loved it. I'm like, good to know yours do, because mine don't. I swear, they're going to appreciate me when they're older. Surely they will. Yeah, so I figured that's a really good concept. So the ricotta inside the meatballs was absolutely divine. So I'm making laksa. I just chopped up some chives. It's not traditional. I just saw them. I want to use that. I've got some coriander, which I'm going to my parents for dinner. I'm making this and taking it. And my parents have like the Asian mint growing in their backyard. So I'm definitely going to add that. As well as I've just got spring onions, shallots, whatever, which I'll add some fried ones on top. But the thing with laksa, it's so basic as well. And I think the pastes, whilst I would do it myself, like I really would like to attempt it, these are just so good, and they're perfectly balanced. And I think with a paste, they're pretty good. I ain't going to fix what ain't broken. So I'm going to saute in the pot some garlic, some ginger. I'm going to grate this. I leave the skin on with ginger. Maybe that's wrong. I just think where I can leave skin on with stuff, I do. That's where all the nutrients are. So I'm grating some ginger. I've got my homemade minced garlic. If you guys have not, I'm going to do an episode on maybe 3 things that I do or have in the fridge that saves me time during the week. And one's going to be a paste, one's going to be my garlic. I'm not going to give it away, but they're just things that I have on standby that just save me time, especially things that I use so often. I'm going to attempt to do a jarred ginger as well. So I've got to do a bit of research around that, whether to just literally grate it myself or whether to, I don't know, maybe in the food processor. I'm going to say there's definitely salt needed and some oil, because that's what preserves it. I did have a question of someone asking me with the garlic, do we need to add salt? Yes, because that's what's going to preserve it. Otherwise, it's just going to probably go off very, very quickly. So I've got a large pot. I'm going to saute the garlic. This is my homemade minced garlic. Anyone watching, anyone that's listening, it's just literally, I just recycle my jars. Like if there's pickle jars or olive jars or whatever it is, I just wash them really thoroughly. You essentially want to food process, I food processed literally 1 kilo of garlic, which sounds like a lot, but really, like when you process it, it's like a jar. And if you think about, if you cook a lot, you would use it very, very quickly. I only make enough. And I know, guys, bear in mind that I'm cooking like a lot, more than the probably average person. So this lasts me about 3-4 weeks. But you could definitely just do like 5 bulbs at a time. I would probably make it worthwhile because you got to stand and peel. Do not buy the pre-peeled garlic stuff. It is crap. It is full of, it's bleached. Always buy good quality. I've got a really good, I call it my garlic dealer because it's grown here in Australia. She picks it herself, and she cleans them and sells it. You literally contact her, tell her how much you want. She'll tell you how much it is. You direct debit, and it comes to your house delivered in a postal box. It is easy. It's no problem. And I buy 2 kilos at a time because I give some to mum, and I use heaps, and it lasts. Like people think, oh, what about? It's like, you know, the old days where you're like, the fruit and veg used to always last weeks and months, and now it just goes off in a day. Well, this lasts because it's got no shit added to it. The soil is beautiful. It's really good quality, and it lasts literally. So you essentially peel the garlic, and her ones, because the bulbs, like the bulb is huge and each clove is no joke, probably the size or equivalent to like 3 cloves from the store-bought stuff. So it's very easy to peel as well. It's not that shit garlic where the skin sticks and all that stuff. It peels in no time. Literally 5 minutes I've peeled like 1 kilo. I'm not kidding. So I quickly peel it, put it in a food processor, and I put about 1 tablespoon or so of salt and some neutral oil. I use neutral oil because sometimes I'm cooking recipes with garlic that don't require olive oil like this. So I will add the oil, process. I pulse it because I don't want it completely. You could do it into a paste. I just mince it, so it's still a little bit chunky. And then into a jar. Always top up oil. Always make sure the surface of the garlic has some oil on the top, and that is it. And I'm literally using a heaped tablespoon to go into this dish. I don't have to crush it or peel it or anything like that. it's amazing and easy. So that is that. So I'm making that. What else is on this week? So this week, or tomorrow specifically, I am recipe developing another recipe for the cookbook, and it's beef stroganoff. So easy. And you know what I'm really loving as well? I'm loving giving the option to people of both the slow cooker and the stovetop. It's really funny hearing people's opinion about stovetop versus slow cooker. Now, my girlfriend and my husband, to be very, very transparent, they both don't love the slow cooker. They like for certain things, but some things my husband will be like, it gives a texture to the meat, which for me, it doesn't, I mean, I can sort of see what he means, but it doesn't bother me at all. And it's really, really handy. So I definitely do the beef stroganoff in the slow cooker. But you can definitely do it on the stovetop equally. It just really, it's good to give people the option so that if you, look, I know some people love pressure cookers more than slow cookers. I think the beauty about a pressure cooker is that it's quick, it's easy. And I think it also appeals for people that are coming home and cooking dinner because it's instant. For me, I think because I meal plan as well, so I kind of know what I'm cooking the week ahead. I do my whole grocery shop for the week ahead, so I have everything on standby ready to go. So slow cooker is easy for me because if I'm literally going to be out the next day, I can prep the stuff and put it in the slow cooker the night before and then just wake up and turn it on. If I'm going to be just working at home or something like that, then I've already got the ingredients ready to go. So I just chop it, put it in the slow cooker, and I don't mind if it takes 6 hours because I've eliminated most of the time of having to run around to buy the ingredients. I don't have a pressure cooker, to be honest, because I don't know, I just never really used it when I got one. So I just got rid of it. I know now since, I've been married for like 11 years. So since then there's been like multi-cookers and all these kind of other gadgets and things. And I just never really took, I never really took to anything. So yeah, that's kind of what and if you're on the hunt of a slow cooker, I've done a whole episode on slow cookers. I'm just adding you guys to the stand while I cook. I've done a whole episode on slow cookers and what to look out for and all that kind of jazz. I think I did it with Danielle, and it was a really, really good episode and something that, we can, something you guys can listen to, and the things that we kind of recommend you have, like when shopping for a slow cooker. Unfortunately, mine doesn't exist anymore. They discontinued it. I actually reached out to the brand. It's a Morphy Richards one and it's a stainless steel one, and they discontinued it, and they said that they did a non-stick version, which for me, I don't love non-stick because I think over time it just it scratches and stuff, so I love stainless. But they said that they were getting a lot of people say that the stainless steel, all the meat was sticking to the bottom. I don't know. I never really had that issue, but anyway, who knows, right? So I've just put in, so back to the laksa, I put in the laksa paste with ginger, garlic, a little bit of rice bran oil. I love rice bran oil. I don't use vegetable or canola. It's a bit of a healthier kind of thing, but you can use whatever. I've got some raw chicken. So I'm going to actually just saute it a little bit, brown it off, just so that it doesn't let off any skimmed, that gonky bit on the surface of a soup. I've lost words. So I'm just going to brown that off just a little bit. And then I'm going to add in stock, a bit of fish sauce, coconut milk. And because I'm not eating this straight away, I'm going to take the fried tofu balls. I got these from the Asian grocer. I'm sure Woolworths have them as well. There's like some giant size ones, but I quite like the smaller puff ones because they do expand, I find, when you put them in things. So I will probably add this in either now or later. I'll add in all the herbs and the shallots, the lime juice, the fish sauce, and I've got some fresh baby corn. You could definitely use tin baby corn. Drain them off if you do and rinse them really well. I have some rice noodles. I love the glass noodles, the dry ones. So generally what I would do, I've actually got some prawns as well, totally optional. That's the beauty. You could just literally add whatever. I'm going to add some greens as well. And then when I get to Mum's or when we're ready to serve, I'll just put a single dry rice noodle, reheat, make sure the broth and the laksa is quite warm, and you pour that on top of the rice noodle and just leave it to sit for just a few minutes, just while it cools down. The rice noodles will cook. So that's just easy, rather than having to kind of grab the rice noodles out of the pot. I find it a bit better this way to do it. And that is it. So I hope that's given you a little bit of inspiration. I jumped topics a little bit. That's how I roll. That's how I talk. And I think that I was just thinking if I give you some little recipe tips and inspos and ideas. So definitely make a laksa. The pastes are absolutely amazing. It's a massive time saver. You could definitely use whatever you have. Keep it simple, and especially if you have like leftover chicken, makes a perfect thing. Add in some greens. I'm making a beef stroganoff, and I love that. Essentially beef stroganoff. I'm using Scotch fillet beef. I'll slice it up really thin. Mushrooms, onion. It's got sour cream, and I definitely give a little trick on how to add the sour cream, but not allowing it to split, because we don't want it to look. I mean, look, it tastes fine when it splits. To be honest, it just looks like, can I say vomit? It literally looks like vomit, and it's just not as appealing. So I'll definitely do that with some mashed potato. It's a really nice, hearty dish, a winter warmer. So I can't wait to do that. And I am probably going to do an episode next week on 3 ingredients or 3 things that I keep in the fridge to save you time and that you could use into your day-to-day cooking or week to week. All right, over and out. Any suggestions, please reach out. Please DM me. I always love to hear feedback. Any episode suggestions, any guests that you would like to see on, or any recipes that you would like me to develop, please reach out. I'm super approachable. Bye.